If you walk into a tech placement interview in May 2026 and tell the recruiter your application is secured using a standard SBOM, a software bill of materials, you will fail the interview. The predictability of legacy software tracking completely collapses the very moment you attempt to deploy dynamic, autonomous systems. Traditional SBOMs were built as static ingredient lists, tracking predictable open-source packages like React or standard Python libraries. With the explosion of autonomous agents and shadow AI across enterprise networks, these static manifests provide no visibility into the actual system behavior. Traditional cybersecurity architectures were designed to protect the server perimeter, but modern enterprise needs have shifted toward protecting the logic and the intelligence itself. This requires an entirely different security architecture, the AI-BOM, or Artificial Intelligence Bill of Materials. An AI-BOM provides cryptographic proof documenting exactly what logic, data, and external pathways are operating inside a non-deterministic black box. By ignoring this standard, an applicant fails to provide the security documentation that 2026 recruiters use to verify professional-grade work. Standard software executes predictable instructions, while artificial intelligence relies on non-deterministic behaviors that evolve based on input and environment. The AI-BOM tracks the entire intelligence supply chain, accounting for the dynamic dependencies within the system. This split-screen visualization demonstrates the shift in complexity. On the left, a traditional SBOM presents a flat 2D list. On the right, the AI-BOM manages a 3D network of multiple dynamic layers. The first critical tracking layer logs the exact foundation model and its specific version checkpoint. The second layer branches out to map the specific API connections and external routing protocols the model uses to execute tasks. The third layer establishes data provenance, documenting exactly how datasets were cleaned and licensed before fine-tuning the model. Standard neural networks and massive deep learning architectures carry highly distinct deployment risks, making strict documentation necessary for both. Without tracking these three layers, an engineer cannot prove that their application is protected from vulnerabilities hidden within the model's foundation. Multi-agent AI systems represent the primary threat vector driving the current industry pivot towards stricter governance. In this network simulation, a vulnerability in a single node instantly spreads through the tethers to every connected agent. This cascading failure occurs because agents in a multi-agent system dynamically route tasks to other models to solve complex problems. These agents pull in external tools and execute plugins autonomously, often without direct human intervention. If a hacker injects a malicious prompt into an isolated agent, the code can execute across the entire network via these autonomous handoffs. This uncontained chain reaction is known as the Agentic blast radius. Legacy software tracking fails here because it cannot map the autonomous routing decisions the AI makes in real time. The AI-BOM acts as the resolution, mapping the full dependency chain as it evolves. Using this live map, a security system can identify a compromised node and sever its connections, preventing the spread while the healthy network remains operational. Operating decentralized systems without an intelligence mapping protocol leaves the network exposed to cascading failures that legacy security tools cannot visibly contain. These technical vulnerabilities transition into severe legal liabilities starting this August. The European Union is now enforcing strict new data compliance rules across the global tech sector. Under the EU AI Act, enterprises must be capable of instantly producing an AI-BOM upon request. This document is a legal requirement to prove a model's exact data provenance, verifying it is not ingesting or leaking sensitive user information. If an enterprise cannot produce this cryptographic proof, they face regulatory fines scaling up to 35 million euros. Companies will not absorb that financial risk, leading them to stop hiring developers who lack specific AI compliance training. Technical proficiency is now coupled with regulatory awareness. The market now demands governed developers. Urgent. If you are building an engineering portfolio right now, you need to elevate your standards and audit your study strategy immediately. First, stop the practice of pasting LLM API keys into your applications without documenting the underlying pipeline. To maintain professional viability, enforce this exact checklist on every personal project you build. Integrate open-source AI-BOM generators to provide a clear map of your project's architecture. Second, apply strict production rules to your machine learning class projects, especially when fine-tuning open-source models. Document your dataset's origin, your cleaning methodology, and the licensing agreements that permit its use. Focus your resume on proving an understanding of secure AI pipelines, demonstrating that you can manage the governance of a system alongside its logic. Outdated security models will derail careers. To succeed in this environment, abandon the perimeter defense mentality and focus entirely on governing the intelligence supply chain.